Hello! So today we are doing our first Q&A. Very exciting. Today we thought we'd do it about university, college if you're in America, and we've got a few questions, so let's get answering.
So to start off, you probably want to know what we study. I'm currently in my third year of a communications degree at AUT, and I am majoring in journalism as well. So it's a really cool degree, lots of like media, television, radio, PR, that kind of thing. And I graduate in December. Woo! Yeah!
So I've been at university for 6 full years, 7 if you count the past couple of months. Wow. So I started with a Bachelor's of Science in Biomedical Science, specialising in nutrition and genetics. That's quite a mouthful. So I graduated from that 3 years ago? Can't remember, it's a long time ago. Then I did a middle year so that I could get the right papers to do my Masters of Nutrition and Dietetics, which I just finished at the start of this year. So I am a seasoned university attender.
And she wrote a thesis.
Yep, and I'll hopefully graduate this September. It's really depressing that we graduate at the same time.
For context, I'm 20 and Tara's turning 25 this year.
So Summer Kathleen asked on Instagram, what do you intend to do as a job/career when you finish? That is a good question. What I intend to do is be a clinical dietitian working in a hospital. What I am currently doing is a web designer/marketing assistant role, which is not the same thing, but until I can get the job I want, that's what I want to do.
And I want to work in magazines, but there's not many jobs in magazines, so I may end up in PR, but we'll see how it goes.
Good luck.
So Estelle asked what the school year is like in New Zealand. So for university, it is split into 2 semesters, and semester 1 starts in March and goes through to June, July. And then semester 2 is the second half of the year, and
it finishes usually around November, depending on when your exams are.
Yeah, and that means that we have December through January and February off because that's the summer holidays in New Zealand. So you get 3 months off, which is pretty nice.
So we had a few people ask how we decided what we wanted to study, so that is a good question. How did you decide, Helen?
Pretty much when I was in high school, I decided I want to work in magazines and I loved writing. And then I just looked at what magazine editors had studied at university and kind of copycatted that.
I went into year 13 not really knowing what I wanted to do. I kind of wanted to do designy stuff or fashiony stuff or sciencey stuff or be a doctor. So I ended up doing biomedical science because I thought I'd enjoy it, and I did. And I basically just followed the papers that I enjoyed. So I enjoyed nutrition and I kind of just funneled through into dietetics, which was a beautiful coincidence. I don't know, what would you call that?
On Instagram, Michaela asked, what is the transition like from high school to uni? It's horrible.
I saw this question and I was like, what was it like? That was a long time ago.
There's lots of positive things and negative things. I loved the freedom and the flexible timetable that came with university, and it was very much focused on self-learning, which I enjoy. I like going home and studying because I'm a dog. But it's definitely a step up in terms of what you have to do and the academic work that's involved. I came from being a top excellence student in high school, and then I hit university and I was it's really hard.
I think as well because you filter through all the really academic people often into those degrees. I did biomed, so all the future doctors were doing it. So it was really intense, everyone was really competitive, and I was just not that competitive.
Yeah.
So it can be quite intimidating, I guess, when everyone else is working really hard, so just do your own thing.
Yeah.
So our most common question by far was, how do we manage balancing uni/work/blogging/YouTubing? It's hard.
We don't.
There's 2 of us, luckily, which makes the workload shared more. And definitely when we both had busy times with assignments, they didn't usually happen at the same time. So if Alan was busy, I'd take a higher workload from the YouTube blog side. If I was really busy thesising, Alan almost did all of it last year, thank you.
It's important to have a really good plan and plan ahead. So if you're coming up to exams, you might want to pre-schedule some blog posts, which we try and do, but we don't always do.
We kind of have a looser schedule with our blog, YouTube, so we don't tend to do definite upload days just so we can have that flexibility if we do get a bit overwhelmed with our work.
As long as you're passionate about YouTube or blogging, you'll find time to do it. But yeah, it is kind of like a lot of work. We get up early on Sundays before we go to work, like right now we're filming a video. We get up early before we go to uni, we'll stay up late. I stay up till like 10 o'clock sometimes, just like on my computer doing blog stuff. So it's like, it's not an easy thing, but. So Turner asked how is filming at uni, and we think by that he means like vlogging in public, I guess. I'm so bad at it. I got really good last year, I got into a pattern of doing it, and it's less awkward if I'm like with friends, but if I'm in a class and I don't really know the people that well, I don't vlog. It's just awkward.
Yeah.
And I know there are some people who watch our videos who've seen me at uni, so I don't want to walk through the middle of the courtyard like, hey! So Sarah wants to know whether we type our notes or handwrite them, and I type them up in lectures because it's way faster and way easier, and then I write them out when I'm studying because it helps me remember what I'm writing.
Are you one of those people in lectures that goes
Maybe.
I handwrite my notes because I find it much easier to remember them, and I can do little drawings and doodles. And at first I used to do it on paper, so I used to have like stacks and stacks of paper. And then I got a tablet which I could write on, so I wrote my notes into OneNote, and that was fantastic because then I could copy and paste slides in. And yeah, if you want a note-taking thing, get OneNote, it's amazing. So Charlotte wants some tips for preparing for exams, and my number one tip is to study.
Wow, revolutionary, but write it down everyone.
But some people don't, and some people find it very tempting not to study, so do study. There you go, 7 years of uni, right there.
Another tip is to follow the lecture slides, they're actually quite helpful.
Yeah. And if you're confused by something, look for the readings on the lecture slides, they're usually good.
And always attend your last few lectures for each paper, because most likely the lecturer will feel really guilty that you had to get up for his 8 o'clock lecture, and he'll give you a hint for what's in the exam. Don't avoid looking at your exam timetable. Look at it ahead of time so you can plan out a few weeks beforehand what days you're going to study what topic. In terms of memorizing, I always write things out multiple times and do flashcards because flashcards are fun.
I think this is my favorite question. This is, what are your favorite places to eat out at university in Auckland Central? To be honest, a lot of the cafes have changed since I was at City Campus. I think they've got a shaky aisles now, which is amazing, and I wish I was still at City Campus.
I just don't really go out for lunch because I'm too cheap. On Mondays, I get the $5 chicken teriyaki sushi from St. Pierre's because it's, you know, Monday special.
The brown rice one.
Yep. If I'm feeling really spendy and want to splurge, I go to Al's Deli and get myself a nice bagel.
That's nice.
Highly recommend Al's Deli.
And if you're at Tamaki campus, go down the road to Columbus Coffee or the sushi place or the fruit and vegetable shop. Skip Carl's Jr., but go to those, they're good. They're only like a 5-minute walk and lots of people don't know they're there. I loved it, this question.
On Instagram, someone asked what was the last time you had #1 pancake, which is a pancake place on Wellesley Street.
Yeah, that all the students go to.
I've never had it.
Neither. My friend Deborah loved it, but I've never had it.
Let's go. We'll
We should
vlog
go
it.
to the pancake place.
The next question is, what is your favorite thing about being a university student?
I was thinking about this question and I found it quite hard. I kind of liked that you had classes and you could kind of just have big gaps during the day. You could reorganize your schedule however you want. Like I once had an 8-hour gap during the middle of the day and we just went to movies. That was great.
Tina, who I went to high school with, asked what is some tips for making uni more enjoyable? And I'm really bad at this.
Why?
Because I always complain. I don't know.
Study with your friends. That's
I
always
don't have
nice.
any friends.
Make some friends. Eat good food. Pick papers that you really enjoy. Some of them are compulsory, so you kind of have to do them even if you don't like them. But where there's an option, pick something you know you'll like, because you're way more likely to do the work and you're just going to have a way more enjoyable experience overall.
My tip is to finish your assignments early. Well, not early, but just don't leave them till the 4 o'clock deadline so you're running to the assignment box, because that's not fun, that's stressful.
Helena wanted to know if we could study anywhere in the world, where would we study? And I was like, I don't know. Somewhere near a ski field, ideally. That would be awesome.
I tried to go on an exchange last year to Cardiff University and also Leeds University, so I really wanted to go to the UK. But I also think that the US would be really, really interesting. And imagine going to like Harvard or Yale or Stanford. So that was our last question, and that concludes our first Q&A. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and leave us a comment below if you want us to do more Q&As and perhaps some themes, or just leave us some questions.
And yeah, if you could study anywhere in the world, where would you study?
Good question, Helena.
Leave it down below. Thanks, Helena, for the question.
Thanks so much for watching. Bye!
Bye!